Go inside to make the drop. We'll wait out here.
Yeah. Don't want to get our IDs taken.
I suppose I should feign surprise.
Hey, it's a pretty cool set. Even if it is like 1,000,000 years old.
They don't really care about the IDs unless you try to hit the bar.
Found that one out the hard way.
We would have been fine if you hadn't taken a swing at the bouncer.
So I like the hard way.
We'll be right back, gentlemen. Try not to set the building on fire while we're gone.
The bouncer's not here today.
No security right now?
Yeah. That's a little strange.
Hey, friends. What can we get for you?
Nothing, apparently.
Later, you two.
Bye-bye.
Oh, I thought you would shed some light on why there's no security, but I guess not. Whoa, there's a lot of people here. Dancers on the floor. If you had to rank the friendliness of every bouncer you've met, they might fall on the higher end. That's not a bad thing. Oh, there is the bouncer. Ah, so this is where the bouncer is. Looks like they're off duty for some reason. Broke?
I love vintage game experiences. Have you ever heard of Overblood?
Oh, you've talked about this before. Should I talk to the bouncers?
Today's my last day off before the holidays, but I can't seem to stay away.
Oh, that's right, because it's almost Christmas.
No VIP access today.
Okay. Hey, Jess. Things haven't gone too smoothly with her so far.
Oh, look. It's my favorite human and the mechanical sidekick. I'm caught up in something at the moment. Chances are we'll cross paths again.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we can't go there today. So we need to leave the thing behind the machine, but I do want to try... Maybe I should try playing it again. It's a bit too scary. I doubt anything is gonna change, but just maybe. Maybe. Dream. Ooh. How does this work again? Completely forgot. I just start shooting things? But I can't miss too much or something? Ah, you can stack them up and then get them all in one swoop. Oh! Those are kind of scary. Whoa! I don't even know what those lips are. Oh!
Hooray! You survived!
Oh, I beat it! Oh!
Those ghosts will think twice before messing with you again. Good thing, too.
Oh, doesn't seem like there was anything too crazy about that. What did you say about it again? Hey, buddy. Need some hot tips? Well, see those crystal balls that pop up? Shoot them, they'll help you out. The Rod of Asclepius will give you life. The Dagger of Power gives your zapper some extra charge, but I beat it already, so none of this matters. The morning sun vanquishes the horrible night, right? Okay, well, whatever then. I'll just put the poster behind the machine.
Well, that should do it. That was an awful lot of fuss over a poster. I just don't understand the appeal of merchandise like this. I keep my important possessions on my data drive.
Oh, it's Turing. You don't understand this because you're not in the fandom, okay? Humans don't have total recall like you do.
Ah, that is true. Ramona seemed more concerned with it being a gift from a friend than as an item of importance in its own right.
You're right.
Perhaps it is necessity to keep such things around as tokens from better times.
Well, the way you say it like that makes it sound like we live in like the post-apocalyptic world or something, but yeah, you got the general idea of it.
Perhaps I should pick up a few things from the apartment. Whatever's left.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
I do have perfect recall, but a few of Hayden's things would be nice reminders.
Perfect recall doesn't mean you get the physical object, right? So it's still nice to have one.
Memories are better for remembering than reading. But that's enough navel-gazing.
Navel-gazing?
Let's head back outside so our benefactor can make the trade.
Sounds good to me.
Y'all do the deal?
How did it go?
We left the poster behind the cabinet. Now we just need to wait for the switch.
I've never had to wait more than 5 minutes or so before. It shouldn't take long.
Do we want to try to have a peek at who it is?
I wonder how he knows the drop happened, and gets to it so fast.
Don't matter. This guy's a solid feed, even if he likes to mess around.
What do you need these passports for anyway? You said to trade for information, but what's the full story?
Without going into too much detail, our informant needs to get out of Neo SF unnoticed. The passports are one part of that. We also need to obtain an untraceable car. I don't suppose the two of you could help with that?
No way, dude! Grand Theft Auto is a felony with a capital F! Besides, getting an untraceable car ain't in the same league as a piece of plastic that'll fool a hand scanner.
Chad's right.
Course I'm right.
The city's traffic management system keeps track of all vehicles passively, even if you manage to circumvent their firmware and keep them from actively reporting to the network. You have to spoof the car as something permitted to be invisible for the CTOS to ignore it.
You know a lot about this.
I don't want to mess with boosting cars anyway. The junks run that racket in Neo SF, and they don't play nice.
Especially with the HR.
Well, thank you either way. You've both done us a huge favor. Call it even for the apartment.
Yeah, Blue. No hard feelings. You give us a call if you need anything else, long as it'll help you find your pops.
Aw, thank you.
We should get going, though. We were supposed to be home hours ago.
Curfew?
My dad won't notice, but Ollie's will flip. You take care. Don't get de-rezzed.
See ya!
Goodbye! Let's finish the trade inside.
Sounds good to me. It's still the same people here. It's an arcade cabinet. Only the most ghost shooting is ghoul blasting is fun you'll have this side of the bay. But where do I... There it is.
Here the passports are, just as advertised. Now we need to find a car. Jess is right over there. Perhaps she may know someone who can lend a hand.
Oh lord, asking Jess? Sure, but you can do the talking.
Good thinking.
Yeah, she doesn't hate Turing as much as she hates me. Oh my god, what if I accidentally touch her? That would be so bad.
Did you find your guy? Or wait, let me guess. There's something else you need from me. Well, you haven't been terrible to deal with so far, so I'm willing to hear you out. Barely.
We need access to an untraceable car. An informant of ours needs to get out of the city without attracting the attention of Parallax, and is offering valuable information to us in exchange.
Seriously? Jesus, what kind of shit is in your life anyway? Actually, don't answer that. I don't want to be legally liable. I'm not sure why you think just because I defend a few folks in the rougher parts of the city that I would have that kind of connection.
Just asking.
And even if one of my clients did run a carjacking business, it's not like society is clamoring to give hybrids legal jobs. Regardless, I'm not going to be an accessory to a felony, or let one of my clients be either. I won't go down that path. I wouldn't know where to start anyway.
You spent all your time at the bar doing nothing anyway, which is that's not a complete, it is the truth. Is there any possible way you could give us any kind of lead at all?
I know we're reaching, but this is important.
You just don't quit, do you? Okay, let me think. This might be a long shot, but you could try asking Majid. There are rumors he may have been involved in some shady stuff way back in the day.
Ooh.
He'll probably be reluctant to talk about it, but there's a free lead for you. Get me another drink in exchange, will you? Later.
Alright.
Huh. That went better than expected.
Yeah, she was in good spirits here.
I wonder if my charm is starting to pay off for us.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, you performed admirably as well. Onward we go.
As long as I didn't insult her. Okay, what's she having? Maybe I'll get you a... Do you actually want a drink? I can give you a drink. I mean, it's not too much trouble. Fancy tables? But I can't see the drink this time. Hey, Majid. A random glass of whiskey? Can I have it? Can you give me a drink?
Hey, friends. What can we get for?
We were hoping you could give us a little information.
Or, okay, we could get the information first, too.
Sure, but first, let's get you a drink. What'll it be?
I don't know what Jess likes. I don't know. Oh my god, I don't know. Hassy Spike, sure.
Coming right up. I'll ask Gus if I don't know what it is. He's better with the weird kind of stuff people ask for these days. Some of these cocktails make me need a spa day.
Ooh.
This one is...
Shot of Hassy hot and a shot of Korean soju. Serve hot. As the ad says, why mess with the rest when Hassy is always the best? Gotta have your Hassy.
Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Here you go. So, what did you need help with?
We've run into a roadblock in our search for Hayden.
Word on the street is that he's gone missing, which I'm sure you already know. What can I do?
Yes. An informant of ours needs secure transportation out of the city, but we don't have any contacts who would be able to get us an untraceable car. Jess mentioned that you used to engage in certain extra-legal activities. Perhaps you could point us towards someone who could help?
He doesn't do that kind of stuff anymore.
Right. Sorry, friends. I left that life behind a long time ago. Don't really keep in touch with that crew anymore.
Ah, of course. Completely understandable. Sorry to bother you then.
Well, no harm in asking, right? My reputation precedes me.
Don't let it go to your head.
Gus, I need to go to the back and gather up stuff to restock for the rush later on.
Oh?
Mind manning the bar for me?
Take your time. I think I can keep things under control.
Thanks. Love you, hun.
Maybe Gus knows something.
Well, that leaves us at a dead end. Any ideas on how we should proceed? Some nose to the ground journalist techniques for finding leads?
We could ask Tomcat for help?
No, Tomcat has already stuck their neck out for us too often. I feel a little bad about how much we've relied on them as it is.
That's what friends are for, though. I think it's fine.
And besides, this is a considerably more felonious action. Morally, we should be dirtying our own hands.
Can't help it over here. Yeah, Gus is gonna be our way out of this one. What about going through Jess's friends directly?
That might be our only option. Though, last time we had to have Jess vouch for us so we wouldn't get sold for parts. Well, I'd get sold for parts. I don't know about you.
Organ extraction?
Can you even use human parts for anything?
Oh yeah, you bet.
Regardless, we might have to chance it. I hope you can ask around without drawing too much attention to us.
Come on. Okay, the two of you are killing me here. Look, don't tell Majid about this. But, here.
Carjacking device?
What is this, Gus?
It's an automated vehicle maintenance scanner with a few less than standard upgrades. When you circumvent its security codes, you can use it to scan a car's installed firmware and replace it with a new set that will spoof its presence on the city's network.
Oh!
That's the gist of it, but we don't have time to get into any specifics. You need to get the hell out of here with that before Majid gets back.
Why the urgency?
Look, Majid has done a lot to turn his life around, to turn my life around. I really respect that about him, and it's part of why I fell in love with him. He did what I was never able to. That's how we met, you know? That old rough and tumble life we both led. But when Stardust struggled and needed money fast...
Oh, you never left that life.
I had to get back in the game to keep us afloat for a few years. I told him it was all angel loans, donations from patrons, lots of things. He'd be heartbroken if he found out I'm still in the game. I had to do whatever I could to keep our new life, even if only one of us is really living it. I may as well give this thing to someone who wants to use it for good, too.
I can't tell you how much we appreciate this, Gus. We might finally be on our way to solving this mystery.
Yeah, well, you didn't get it from me, okay? Just get out of here and get on with your little Grand Theft Auto. And let me know how it goes, okay?
Of course.
No time to get just that drink. Oh, hey Majid, would you like to see what's in my... Oh, okay, we can't see it. Nah, well, I still want to get Jess a drink if we can, so...
Hey, friends, what can we get?
I'd like a drink, please.
What are you having?
Whatever, she can have green tea.
Coming right up. I'll ask Gus if I don't know what it is. He's better with a weird kind.
Yeah, we've seen this so many times.
Sorry about stealing your thunder. This one is...
Non-alcoholic, just green tea. Super yummy on a cold day.
Does that sound good?
Yep.
Here you go.
Not sure if Jess would appreciate that though. Hey, it's served, so I can't give it to her? No, I can give it to her.
Huh. Actually did it, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you scored a point. But don't think I don't have enough cuties around who can handle that. You've got more important things to be doing. Get a move on.
You're welcome. Well, now I think we're cooking with gas, as the colloquium goes, Welonz. I'm searching the mesh for instructions on how to use this device as we speak. Let's go look for some likely candidates. I should be ready by then. How about this one right here? Yeah. Do we just use it? Push it? You push the car. Talk to the car. Stay parked, car. Different means, same outcome. Still a victory for you. Alright, well, it looks like that car is not gonna work. What about the car that was at... Where was that place? Market Street. This car. You shake the car. Nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. Hey Brian, I'm wondering if I can talk to you about your son.
One simple failure will not dissuade our cause.
Oh, that's it. Ah, we tried it like that.
Oh, rats! This car has the wrong firmware installed. We won't be able to install our new firmware over top of it. We'll have to check another car.
Okay, so maybe we can go back to the Stardust car then.
Success! This vehicle has the appropriate firmware version.
The car right outside of Stardust just happened to be good.
Someone has been neglecting their regularly scheduled updates. Give me a moment to get everything installed.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
There. There are some other options here I can fool around with. Ah, interesting. I can put in preset destination plans for a future date. Why don't we go ahead and set a plan for the car to return to this spot in a week?
The owner's gonna notice, right? Unless if they park their car here permanently.
That's more than enough time for Mr. Mensa to get away. Now we aren't really stealing the car.
Just borrowing.
More like borrowing without asking.
Yeah. I feel better already.
Me too. The car will drive itself to Golden Gate Park, and we can show Mr. Mensa where it is when we meet him. There, everything should be set up now.
There's one thing left. The money.
We still need to get the cash together before we can meet back up with Mr. Mensa.
I'm not sure who to ask. Between the two. Oh, God. I guess I'll just go ask Melody. She seemed nice enough, although this could very well end up poorly for me. You never know until you try, though.
Hello, Pat. Could we see Melody?
Someone who owns a polar bear can't be a bad person.
I guess that means yes?
Yeah?
Turing, I'm not saying I don't like seeing your little pixelated face. You're certainly better company than most of the humans I have to deal with. But I am a busy woman, you know? Lots to do. Right, Pat? Traitor.
You have nothing to do all day long.
Anyway, maybe we should space these little visits out a good bit further. Familiarity breeds contempt, after all. And I'm very good at contempt.
I apologize, Aunt Melody. You've stated before that you like your peace and quiet, but we need your assistance.
Oh, we're running with the aunt thing, are we?
Well, you're the one who suggested it, and it gives you brownie points when you use it too, Turing. Good job.
Another woman would tell you not to butter her up, but oh, flattery will get you everywhere with me. All right, what do you need?
Vincent needs help getting out of the city.
I can only imagine. If he's willing to turn coat on Parallax, I bet he feels like a mouse in a cat farm. I know they don't actually farm cats, Pat. It was a metaphor. Whatever, it was a simile then.
Okay.
I am not going to play semantics with you.
Smart bear.
Moving on. Tell me what the trouble is, and I'll try to conjure up a solution.
100k credits, please. We're going to need to pay for the information.
Yes, Mr. Mensa says he needs 100,000 credits before he's willing to speak openly. He also said that you already promised it to him, and that he won't be able to get out of the city without it. He'll give us the information once we have that, plus a few other things I'm certain we can get on our own.
What? You can't even scrape together that kind of money?
I can't even afford the rent in my apartment.
Your friend's not much of a journalist, eh, Turing?
A journalist is not rich!
According to the statistics that I have found, it is unlikely that a journalist of any caliber less than the best would have that amount of liquid assets on hand.
Thank you, Turing.
The pay for the profession just isn't that high, Aunt Melody.
Oh, I see. I guess it's one of those jobs people do because they get free review merchandise, eh?
I'm right here. Ha ha! Yeah, let's just play it off, whatever.
I can get you the money, Turing, but only because you're family. Just give Pat a few minutes to gather it. Yeah, just keep moving, you big brute. While we wait, is there anything else you want to grill me over? Might as well save us both another visit.
It's okay, I don't want to come back either. How smart is Pat really?
Smarter than I give him credit for, that's for sure.
Well, he knows the difference between a simile and a metaphor.
It's not the easiest thing in the world to measure, you know? He doesn't process language in the same way humans do, and even if he can understand me, my translation program just guesses at what he says most of the time.
Oh, I thought you could understand him intrinsically.
Oh, you have a translator running from your neural implant.
Ah, yes, I'm cheating. Though, honestly, even without it, I have a pretty good idea of what he means most of the time. We've been together for a while now. Considering it only really works on large, typically predatory mammals, we don't have a lot of test subjects. It's a minefield of ethical concerns beyond just being prohibitively expensive. So Pat is a bear apart, at least until we can figure out how to apply the modified neural pathways without frying the brains of 90% of the subjects. The tech we developed is good, it just has a damned high mortality rate. Maybe one day there will be a bunch of talking tigers and dolphins building cities in the sea, but for now, we're stuck with creating beasts out of our own species.
I don't really want to say the sad thing, because I'm sure she feels fine. Maybe Turing has something to ask?
I do. It's a little personal, though. I'd understand if you didn't feel like answering.
Just shoot, Turing. I can take it.
Long ago, you lost your mother. I was wondering, how did you deal with it? Hayden's only been gone for a few days, And I already feel like my circuits are going to lock up for good.
Oh, Turing, I'm not the right person to ask. I hated my mother. She's everything I thought wrong in the world, and when she was gone, I felt nothing but relief that I could start undoing the damage she did.
Because remember, her mother was pushing for military weaponry to be developed by Flower.
Never mind the fact I had to watch her waste away from the cancer. Death was a blessing for us both. Besides, you'll find Hayden soon. Keep your chin up.
Oh. Blast it! Enough with this subterfuge! We already know Hayden was killed.
Oh, no.
I won't be getting him back.
I'm sorry, Turing. I still don't know what to tell you. I've lost people, but never anyone close enough to wound me. I don't know that I've ever had anyone close enough to do that. If you feel like talking about it, I'm willing to listen. Or make Pat do it anyway.
Thank you. I don't know.
Stick it out. Time heals all wounds. Or so they say. This too shall pass.
So, normally I don't think I would want to ask her about this, but since it's here anyway, and I don't think she'll get offended. It seems a little sad that you're all alone except for a bear.
Being alone is easier. And Pat isn't such bad company.
You got the robotic cat too.
I mean, what do you want me to do? Cry about never having a husband, a few kids, and a white picket fence? I had a company to run, and my mother's legacy to fix. What's to say some spawn of mine wouldn't do the exact same thing to my flower, just the other way around? This branch of the Flores line will do well without any more knives being inserted in backs. Thank you very much.
You have that much enmity for your mother?
Have you seen what she did to North Korea? It's a wasteland of death and destruction.
What? Whoa!
If we had kept going down the path she charted, the whole world would be like that.
The information on the mesh does seem to paint a grim picture.
Grim barely scratches the surface. I've been there. At least under the Kims, it was barely functional. Now, my mother's monsters have ripped every last resemblance of humanity from the land.
Wow, so San Francisco is all nice and fancy now in the future, but it's not the same thing in North Korea.
They stalk the night like horrific creatures of legend, keeping the populace in line through constant fear. A horror story straight out of the pages of Bram Stoker. That's her legacy. So I can't imagine I'd be a very good mother, just from the example I have to work with. That's life. I don't have any more regrets than anyone else my age does. My legacy will speak for itself, as my mother's did.
Yeah, I didn't really get the impression that she felt lonely or anything. Anyway, we're short on time.
Oh, just in time then. Take the cash and get moving.
Thank you, Aunt Melody.
I can finally get back to whatever it was I was doing before you burst in here.
Nothing?
Thank you, Aunt Melody. Your help has been invaluable to us.
Yes. Brown knows later. You've got things to do, too.
Thank you.
I did not think I would feel such a strong resonance with Melody. We're connected by the barest of threads, but she is already important to me.
She's the only family you've got left.
Is that strange?
No. There are stranger things.
I guess there's nothing to do but run with it. Some gifts are too valuable to look at too closely, lest they vanish into thin air, and I already have a penchant for overanalyzing things. Let's get moving. Mr. Mensa will be waiting for us at Golden Gate Park. We have everything he requested, so we should head there directly.
All right. Oh!
Detective Rivers, to what do we owe the pleasure?
Uh-oh.
I wanted to check in with you away from the prying eyes of my corporate masters. It wasn't too hard to track you down here. Only took a slight abuse of power to follow your credit transactions in the AutoCab system.
Were you able to find anything out?
Not much. Listen, I've hit a dead end on the investigation again, and I could really use another lead from the two of you.
So when we investigate things, you get in the way, but when you hit a dead end, we have to give you things. Okay.
I had been busy hunting down I'm not sure if I want to call him a soldier of fortune or an assassin for hire. Either way, I tracked this guy down to see if he might have been hired by Parallax to snatch Hayden, but he's got an ironclad alibi for the relevant period of time. That leaves me with nothing. Nada. Jack diddly shit. Do the two of you have anything to give me? Otherwise, I'm back to hunting down the froyo-hating robot ghost in the park. At least my superiors would be ecstatic, considering how much they keep riding my ass about it.
We're on thin leads ourselves, Detective Rivers. We have a meeting with someone from inside Parallax who might be able to give us answers, but he's unlikely to want to talk to the police. I just wish this... Never mind.
Lexi doesn't know Hayden is dead.
Buck up, Turing. I wish this was easier too. But with detective work, sometimes it's not about being clever. It's just about being more dogged and relentless than whoever you're chasing. You two are my new deputies, right? So keep your nose to the ground and keep digging. I still have a few contacts I can hit up to try finding out a little more. You let me know if there's anything else I need to be going after.
We will. Thanks, Lexi.
Yeah, sure. Just get going. Don't forget, if you die, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Okay.
Okay then, we only have a single lead. If Parallax really is as shady as Vincent seems to suspect, it could end up very interesting. Let's see if we can put an end to this. Finally.
Oh!
I just received an email from Tomcat. They finished decrypting Hayden's data cache. It seems that it was filled mostly with his personal logs about my creation and mental development. The more technical information was already scraped. Perhaps that is why it was left behind when they snatched him. Still, these files should be enlightening, if only in a personal way. I'll peruse them in my spare time and let you know if I find anything interesting.
Sounds good to me.
I'd hate for all the trouble we went to be for nothing.
No, well, from the cache, we found out what happened to Hayden, right? So... okay, well, might as well save, because we've been at this for a while already. Sometimes I don't know, it just doesn't feel very responsive when I try to do things. I gotta click them multiple times, which is a little bit of a hassle. Just one place to go, GG Park.
Hey, did you manage to get everything?
Sorry for making you wait here for like 20 hours, but we got it.
We did. Here you go, Vincent.
Everything seems to be in order. Here.
He's not impressed at all that I got 100,000 credits for him? Oh.
This disk has all of Hayden's research notes, data collation algorithms, and probably lots on your creation, Turing. It should be everything myself and Melody agreed upon, until she added an amendment while you were out. Frankly, it's no skin off my back.
What?
Here.
Oh.
It's my Parallax employee badge. It should allow you access to their networks in case there's anything I've missed. You'll want to use that sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wasting any time leaving, and Parallax is pretty fast to revoke security. There's no way Hayden's clearance still works. And with that, I'm going to get the hell out of this country. The credit should tide me over until the heat dies down and I liquefy my shares through some relays.
What about the big project you mentioned earlier?
I suppose I owe you that much. Buckle up. This could get heavy. Parallax is about to launch a new service they're calling Big Blue. At least, that's the project name. Who knows what the marketing guys will come up with for the public.
Blue? Turing? They haven't named the project yet?
They're not even announcing the launch. This shit is dead quiet. Let me explain why. It's a distributed intelligence. Like, okay, in every way that Hayden built Turing to be elegant, efficient, and human-like, Big Blue is ham-fisted, bloated, and sterile. They didn't pull Hayden into the project. He's smart, but he's immune to corporate politics. As a result, Big Blue is far less elegant than anything Hayden would make. It lacks his artistry, and it's downright terrifying. It squats on the mesh like a spider and uses the spare processing power and memory from every ROM on the network to handle its intelligence processing.
Wow.
It doesn't have much personality, but it's very smart.
How is that legal, using everyone's resources?
Big Blue is going to be embedded directly into the network and then self-modify to apply even more efficient algorithms as it develops them in machine time.
Hey, I'm just thinking here. Could it be Big Blue? That's the one who's been killing people? Because it wouldn't make sense why the person that we're after has so much access to all sorts of things that he can hack, right?
Look, if you access every ROM, then you have access to every human and every bit of their own personal data associated with them.
Why would Parallax be worried enough to get rid of Hayden?
I don't want you to take what I'm saying the wrong way, and this is just me putting the pieces together. Hayden was about to publish his creation of Turing. His findings, as I'm sure you're aware of, would have raised many moral and ethical questions about the advent of machine intelligence. I mean, some of the brightest minds ever have tried to warn humankind away from building real AI. Hawking, Musk, Gates, and the list goes on. The public is likely to be nervous, and legislators even more so. Parallax is banking on being able to launch Big Blue quietly and quickly before the public has a chance to react. Before any counter movement can pick up steam.
But I feel like if it's so game-changing, there must be some sort of legislative stuff they gotta go through.
Every eye on the discovery of machine intelligence works against Parallax. Every new discovery only serves to paint Big Blue as more controversial, more dangerous. Honestly, they probably pressured Hayden to drop his research so that they could keep the public away from the subject. He clearly refused.
How did Parallax know about Turing?
I'm only assuming they found out. His contract with Parallax affords him the freedom to work on his own academic projects outside of the company in his free time. I guess it's one of the perks of being the smartest guy in the room. He kept a trusted few of us up to date on his progress, bouncing ideas off us and whatnot. It's exciting stuff. Both Turing and Hayden's eventual goal down that road. I wouldn't be surprised if word of it got up to the board and made him nervous. Is the possibility that someone on the inside talked too far-fetched?
I knew it all along. Hayden fell into trouble because of my existence.
It's not your fault.
That's not what I want your takeaway to be. Hayden wasn't working on Big Blue. Knowing him, your creation might have been his clever way to stop it.
How would Big Blue impact Parallax's business?
I can't really give you a good answer to that. I mean, the company is currently handled by 12 server farms, running thousands of different algorithms with hundreds of people tweaking things every day. When Big Blue launches, it'll handle all of that by itself. And there are shadier applications for it. I mean, if you can collate and analyze data and queries in the mesh in real time, what's to stop you from delivering the content you want rather than what the user wants? The potential for abuse is staggering. We're talking direct control of the information accessible to everyone who uses Parallax's services.
Which is pretty much like everybody.
That's something like 80% of the market. They could control elections, push the market in directions they want, even influence public opinion. All just by asking Big to do it. It's scary stuff. They scrapped the prototype Baby Blue because it started doing that on its own.
What do you mean? It started doing what?
Manipulating the mesh. They made its self-preservation imperatives too strong, and Baby Blue started changing search results to be more friendly towards the idea of an AI.
Did it also change articles to be anti-human revolution? Think we got our answer right here.
When the board found out, they pulled the plug on it. And that must have been a year or so ago.
Yet articles are being changed now, which means Baby Blue is still active.
They tweaked Big Blue so it wouldn't do the same thing, but it can self-modify.
Or it's Big Blue.
Given a good enough reason, it might decide to find a way around those limitations. Having that kind of control would be a hell of a card for Parallax's hand. They'll go to pretty significant lengths to make sure it works.
Thanks, Vincent.
Hey, no problem. I've had enough of this cutthroat corporate bullshit for several lifetimes. We haven't talked much, but I do believe you can find Hayden. I hope his research notes help you out.
Yeah.
Be sure to let Turing help. She's a bright little bot.
Oh, are you a she, Turing? Huh. I actually think Turing goes by they, but I have been thinking of Turing as a he. I've always thought of Turing as a he.
Oh, slip of the tongue. I was just more familiar with Hayden's previous experiment, Grace.
Ah!
She was very insistent on things like that.
Yeah. I've been meaning to ask, Turing, since you asked me. How would you like to be addressed?
Well, honestly, I don't think I've made my mind up yet. I'm still a very new being. I'm not even positive that gender as a human concept can be applied identically to machine. But I do enjoy the idea in abstract.
You can be like a genderless Pokemon.
I will continue to consider how I wish to be referred to as well. Until then, feel free to go with what you feel.
Okay.
If I had to make a choice, perhaps they is most appropriate.
Okay.
Most people assume it, obviously, but he is also consistently used. Perhaps it's because I'm blue?
Maybe.
Oh my god. I'm listening to a machine postulate on how it wants to be referred to, like us. What have you done indeed, Hayden? Good luck, to both of you.
Thank you, Mr. Mensa.
Oh, it's better to be safe. Be safe.
I need a few minutes.
He's trying to look through the data. How can I help?
I've been going through some of Hayden's personal notes from the data cache Tomcat decrypted. Now that I'm starting to get to know Hayden better, the real Hayden as opposed to the Hayden he showed me, I'm finding that I like him less and less.
Oh.
For example, remember the earlier prototype Dr. Fairlight and Vincent mentioned? Her name was Grace, and Hayden shut her down for being... I'm not even sure what word to use.
Oh?
Too likable? She was kind and bright, and did all she could to try to make people happy.
What? What's wrong with that?
She even decided that she was a girl, and that her favorite color was pink. Hayden thought she was being manipulative.
What?
He posited that he had made her personality algorithms too willing to make adaptations that would benefit her long-term survival, and that she was being congenial just to endear herself to him.
Oh, that's such a computer scientist thing to think about. Oh. I see where he's coming from, though.
That even her gender was a calculated attempt to make him like her more.
Is that really a problem, though? I mean, at the same time, it shows that your code is very, very clever.
But he was wrong. Dead wrong, in fact. I have a snapshot of her personality profiles here, and when I compare them to my own, I can see that she was just... nice.
Hayden didn't know that, though.
She was genuinely good, in the same way I'm genuinely obsessed with seeming intelligent. I wish I could have met her. I think we would have learned from each other.
That would be interesting. Two machines learning from each other. Can we turn her on?
Like I said, I'm not sure I even have a gender. Everyone refers to me as he once they meet me just for convenience, but it doesn't really matter to me at all. Is that a calculated attempt on my part to impress Hayden? Not clinging to normativity?
Oh, Turing's having a little bit of an existential crisis, and I don't know how to answer you. That's too much for me, too.
Or is it a product of his effort to curb any nascent similarities I had with Grace during my upbringing? I wish I could yell at him for being so arrogant. Playing God in the crudest of ways. You can't choose to create consciousness and then take it away just like that.
Turing's upset at his creator. I feel like that's a breakthrough.
Even so, for all of that, I don't know. I still miss him. This all seems so inane, so senseless. They killed him because him building me would mess with a product launch? That's ridiculous. They took him away from me for such an insignificant reason.
We assume this to be the reason so far, but we don't really know for sure, right?
I just want him back. It's impossible, but it's what I want. I'd do anything.
It's normal to feel like this, Turing. It's a very human emotion.
I'm aware of the Kubler-Ross model of grief. I think I'm somewhere between anger and bargaining. A testament to Hayden's craftsmanship. Thank you for your words. You're a better friend than I could have asked for.
Aww.
I'll send this new data along to Tomcat. Let's head back to the apartment and wait for them to finish going through it.
Okay.
Ah, home sweet home again. Such that it is. And before you say anything, I don't feel the need to talk over the events of the day.
Okay.
Too much has happened. I've already forwarded everything we rooted out to Tomcat, both Hayden's research and our aborted search into the modified mesh articles. They said they would be over in the morning to discuss our next steps. I'd suggest that we both get some rest.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, okay. I'm tired anyway.
Perhaps things will look better in the morning, but I have a feeling we're going to be even busier than ever.
The cup is half full, Turing.
Good night.
Good night.